Okay? So you have some Edomites, or whom you may perceive Edomites, who have mixed with Israel, who may look just like Israel, or can look just like Esau. So we have to be careful to judge on the appearance. On the other hand, you have some full-blooded Edomites who have never mixed their blood, who can trace their blood right back to Alexander the Greek and all of his cronies. These are the rich families who make sure they keep their blood pure, which are Edomites. So still, you're going to have some Israel that look just like Esau. So we must be careful talking down to people whom we perceive are Edomites. That's another reason we try to stay away from the topic. Because you can't judge everyone because they look a certain way. You're going to have some brothers who think they're Israelites. And lo and behold, it may come out that they're Esau. So we have to be careful. Now, let me show that. Get Matthew the 13th chapter. We're going to round this up. Matthew 13. Right? And we're going to start at the 24th verse. Because while Israel was in a sleep state, when they lost their inheritance, they lost their heritage, excuse me. When they lost their heritage, they lost their identity and didn't know that they were Israel. During this period, something happened. We're going to show you. Read Matthew 13 and 24, the parable that Jesus Christ gave us, or Yeshua gave us. Read.
Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way.
So while the enemy slept, what happened? While Israel slept, because that's what this kingdom represents, the Lord tell you the kingdom suffered violence, and the violence take them by force. So while Israel slept,
sowed tares among the wheat and went his way.
Read that again.
But while men slept,
while Israel slept, what happened?
His enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way.
So the enemy came and sowed seed within Israel. So when wheat and tare are at the beginning growth, you can't tell the difference between the two. They look almost identical. But if you're not careful and let the tare grow with the wheat, what will happen? The wheat will come, the tare will get on the wheat and choke it and destroy your crops. To let you know that they sowed their seed while Israel slept. That's this parable. So while we were in slavery and didn't know who we are, didn't know who we were, Esau came and sowed his seed amongst us. And children sprung up. Read.
But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also.
So you got the tares too. They're almost identical, but they're contrary to each other. Read.
So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then had it tares?
Go ahead.
He said unto them, An enemy have done this. The servant said unto him, What wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, Nay, least while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them.
So a servant or a teacher will be speaking and say, Well, Lord, should I go separate the white man from Israel or the wheat from the tare? Sir, should I go separate them and say, Listen, I can't deal with you? Read that part again.
He said unto them, An enemy have done this. The servant said unto him, Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, Nay, least while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them.
Because if you gather up the tares, you will end up rooting up your own people. So what did Christ order us to do? Read.
Let both grow together.
Let them grow together. I see some Israelites be telling people, well, listen, what was your father? What was your mother? Well, here it is. You don't know who your father was. So the Lord says, let them grow together. Let them grow together. If you teach the gospel, the Spirit going to fall on who it belongs. The Spirit going to fall on them, man. You just can't be out there just browbeating people because of what you perceive or who you perceive they are. You can't do that because you're guilty of the blood of Christ. He's going to tell you that. The Lord says, let them grow together. Read.
Until the harvest.
When is the harvest? When Christ comes. We're not Christ. The harvest is not yet. The harvest is when he will send the angels. So I can't make that decision on the other nations and say, listen, you can't be a part of this because I don't know who your father is. We are not the judge. Read.
And in the time of harvest I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them.
Go ahead.
But gather the wheat into my barn.
At that time, the Lord is going to gather the wheat into his barn. And also on another fold, this is talking about the righteous and the unrighteous. There's a lot of Israelites that are going to be burned along with the full-blooded Edomites. And there's going to be a lot of Edomites, believe it or not, that's going to make it into the kingdom to serve. Because why? They're going to humble themselves and do what the Lord said. They're going to be like Cornelius was. They're going to reverence God's people. They're going to help God's people. But you wouldn't know that. A lot of us wouldn't know that because our mind is so focused on hating everybody. When the Lord tell you in Deuteronomy that you're not supposed to abhor an Edomite. Deuteronomy 23:7. This is the same Bible that says, Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. What do the Lord say about how we should interact with Esau? Read Deuteronomy 23:7.
Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite.
Read that again.
Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite.
Abhor means hate. Thou shalt not hate an Edomite. We know the Most High hate Esau. But guess what? The Most High know who Esau is. He know the Edomites that haven't mixed with the other tribes and the other nations. He know who he's hating. So for us, we are not to abhor an Edomite. That means hate an Edomite. We're not the Most High. Read.
For he is thy brother.
Because he's our what?
For he is thy brother.
He's still our brother. We still came out of the same woman's womb. We still came out of the same woman's womb. That's still our brother. So if he want to hate us, we'll love him anyway. Read.
Thou shalt not abhor an Egyptian.
We can't hate an Egyptian either. Even though the Egyptians gave us 400 years of hard bondage. We can't hate them. Read.
Because thou was a stranger in his land.
Because through the fruitfulness of Egypt, the Lord called Israel into the land and it saved us. He used Egypt so that we can be here today. So that's being appreciative. You understand? That's appreciating the fact that they let us borrow their land for a minute. So we're not going to hate them either. Let me tell you, brothers and sisters, it takes too much energy to hate. So with that, we're going to say blessings. Zawada Ahaya Ba'Hashem Yeshaya. And through Christ, soon we'll see Zion. Shalom.